schools are starting to discuss opening up. And what was interesting, and you'll get to know what this hat is all about, is some schools have opened. Denmark has opened up. And the key word, social distancing, the new normal. Well, these kids are sitting there playing tag, but they can't touch each other because you can get the coronavirus. So what they're doing is they're doing shadow tag. Has anybody heard of shadow tag? That was an old thing that they used to do, at least in California. We had fun playing that because there would be so many kids and you'd be in a big field playing it. So it was kind of difficult to catch everyone. So we decided to do shadow tag. Well, they're now doing shadow tag again because you can't touch each other. Well, in China, they came up with some really nifty stuff. School has started. So you have to put on your equipment. I've got mine. Do you have yours? One of the equipment that they use for children ages 4 to about 8 years is a special hat. Do I look like Inspector Gadget? Remember Go-Go Gadget? He had a helicopter head. Well, they had a special hat that the kids had to make. And these hats had to be made to where you were about 1 meter apart in front of you and 1 meter apart behind you and on each side of you, so that you would wear this pretty much all day to keep yourself from being close to someone, talking to them. So you had to be way back, and they're sitting in their desks with these beautiful little hats. And of course, mine is not as pretty as theirs. Theirs were with little bows and little things hanging down and all this stuff. And they had to wear their equipment. But before they went to school, they had to make sure they had their equipment. They had their special hat after they've made it. They have their masks on. They've got their backpacks on. They got all their equipment on, okay? It looks like I'm getting ready for surgery. And then they have to go and get their temperature taken. After they get their temperature taken, they have to wash their hands before they enter the building. And they do this in a stagnant way. And then they sit there and they go and they check the kid out as if the kid is going to have a knife in his hand. I'm sitting there going, are you serious? This is going to be the new normal for our school systems today. This is what they're thinking of doing even in the United States. They're already doing it in China. This craziness is in China. They have been doing other things in other countries. Some parents are deciding to homeschool. Some parents are not. The other issue was in California, yes, where the fruits and nuts are. I was raised where the fruits and nuts were raised, so I know there are fruits and nuts over there. This one a government official of a county in California says he can't wait till his children can go back to school because homeschooling is mentally deranging for children. Okay, and this is not. That's what I have today.
All I can say, folks, why would you send your kids back to school? Because it's just even trying to talk through that mask was hard enough. That was hard enough.
I couldn't even breathe.
I know. I put on a mask one time, and that was to get my hair done. And I couldn't breathe through that mask. I was like, and I had to wear it the whole time. It's the only time I've worn a mask during this thing. And the gym I go to opened back up, but they said they want you to wear gloves and a mask. Well, you're working out? Really? And I'm not going. I'm not going to go.
Yeah, what's interesting as well is in China, I read an article. Yeah, I read an article. You see, their hats are better than mine. I read an article where a young Chinese boy was exercising, doing physical education with their masks on, and he died of asphyxiation.
Well, or you have the example of the lady wearing her mask in her car, passed out from that, and crashed because she shouldn't have been wearing the mask. Folks, come on. It's already been proven that this thing is the FDA came out last week or the week before, I don't even remember, and said this test was never approved. You're going to show false positives if you've had a cold or anything in the last 10 years. So give me a break, folks. This is nothing. They've revised the numbers of deaths of that might have contributed to. Guys, this was nothing. I think the stats, like in Texas, there's like 1,200 that may have died from coronavirus and 24,000 from the flu. People, come on. Let's, and this will affect the way the children learn. It creates this spirit of fear. And by the way, it opens the door for the spirit of fear to reside in them the rest of the time. And until there's deliverance, we are instilling this in our kids. So because this will be normal to them, then remember, everything just decays. It will go even further as they become adults. And how can you learn with like this? And interaction is so important. Kids, you need the human touch if you are human. And playing, hurting yourself, breaking a bone. I know that sounds weird, but that's part of it. When I was sick, as a kid, one of the things I longed for the most was get scraped knees. So when I was able to breathe without an IV in me, I went out and caught a pass with a football on the asphalt on purpose because I wanted to experience that.
No.
Kids need to experience life. They need to experience play and interaction. And guys, they need to learn without these obstructions. Jonathan, if this was going on while Jonathan was a kid, now he was homeschooled most of the time, he would be focusing on his hat. Or Jonathan would not have been focusing on the hat. Would have entertained Jonathan for a long time. School would have been, learning would have been out the door. Not to mention what's happening. All I know is, why would you ever put your kids back in school? Except it is hard. It is hard to homeschool. I mean, it takes dedication. You don't want to do it halfway, but it's so much better it's so much easier with the things they have now than it even once was.
Yeah.
But
the other thing that the in the United States they're thinking of doing is extending the school year to where they will have only 15 students in the class. Now, there's like 30 or more students per classroom in different places per capita. And you're sitting there saying you're going to have 15 students coming in, and then you're going to alternate it. So it'd be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These 15 students come in. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday is Sabbath. No. Your child will come in. Then you will have a longer extended time, because during the time of the coronavirus, and the flu happening, you will have more longer vacation time in Thanksgiving and Christmas, because, we want to make sure no one gets sick. And then the children that are the low income children, we were talking about this yesterday about how the schools were doing the bringing the education, the packets and stuff. They sat there and they said some of the kids that are low income, that didn't have internet and all this, the bells and whistles like some of the other kids that do have it and have a computer in their home, they are the ones that are being left behind, where the other children that have the computers and everything will not be left behind. They're doing the same thing. Remember, they were saying essential workers. Well, now they're sitting there talking about essential students. That's what you're going to hear next, probably, as the new normal. And it saddens me. Also, the other thing they're going to do is that, and this was discussed, they haven't decided if they're going to do this, but come on, this is wonky, crazy news. They are going to have where all the kindergartners will come in at 8:30, of these 2 or 3 classes. So that's about 30, 40 kids. Okay. Will come in. Then at 8:30, they come in. 9 o'clock, the first graders come in. 9:30, the second graders come in. So they'll be alternating times of when they come in, when they can go to the bathroom, when they can eat lunch. And by the way, there's no cafeterias anymore because, you're being together. No togetherness, no unity, not allowed. They are sitting there. And then there was a picture I saw of, I don't know where it was in the United States. This one school decided to do this. They had desks with 3-sided plexiglass between each desk. So you're in a box, people. Your child's going to be in a box.
Guys.
So it's just
kids.
Homeschool your kids.
Homeschool your kids. Kids also need consistency. That 3 days and then these 3 days. First off, the Sabbath thing, if you are still sending your kid to public school or private school and they say Saturday, no. And our kids also need, I think, vacation is important too. There's something that happens when so you have some influence on your children. This way, they will have no influence from home. It will all be government. The government schools will influence their kids, year-round school. No, 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 no. But kids need consistency. There's something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's something that kids find, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not safety, but there's comfort in that consistency. And the way this is, it's chaos, and it's just going to spread chaos, and it's messed up. Mark, I've said everything and you haven't been able to talk. I'm sorry.
I'm listening. I don't have any input here except that I'm now going to make Sherry sit 10 feet away from
she's
all the
social
rest
distancing
of us because she's very possibly could give us all the virus. And so I'm making sure she sits a long ways away. Sherry!
Yeah, I'm social media distancing.
Yeah,
You have to be even further away from the social media distancing. Much further away.
I like that. Obviously, you're not cat distancing, though.
No, she's showing what she thinks of it. Look, she hates it.
Oh, there's
Attacking it. It's the enemy.
She has the cat. The cat is trained. She has a trained cat. Look at that.
Well, all I have to say is no to go gadget hats.
Well, I want to say this, guys, if you sit around, I don't care if you homeschool or not. If you sit around quietly and don't call and say no in your community, in your state, in your country, then you're part of the problem, because it still takes us to use our voice. If we sit here on this program and talk about it and do nothing, we are Greek. We are still Greek. If we proclaim to be Hebrew, then we will stand up. It doesn't matter if we don't have kids. Do we have grandkids? Are we going to have great grandkids? Are we going to have generations that follow? This will affect them. Therefore, to sit on our laurels and just talk about it and not take a few minutes to take some phone calls, I'm sorry, that means you're Greek. And we should be participating and saying no, because people are moved by other people when they step out and they say something.
We are not robots. We are people. And just imagine this hat being brought forth into the United States, and your child starts, because I remember back in the day when my boys were first public schooled in the beginning, they would come home and say, "Mom, you're using too much water. The world is going to dry up." You remember all the Greenpeace things. And now we have these hats, and they're going to sit there and come home with these hats and say, "Well, I have to social distance from you, Mommy. I can't hug you. I got to stay this far away. I got to keep this hat on because the teacher said so." Is that what we want? We want drones, or do we want children that are going to have free will that God gave us so that they can choose whom they will serve, which they should serve Yahovah?
You just said something that is very important. If we create this mindset of fear of touching and of people, it has already been proven how detrimental no touch is to everybody, but especially kids. So imagine how much more susceptible they are to the brainwashing from the government schools and the media if there's no human touch involved in their life, or if they fear the touch of man. They fear the input. They've already been told that their parents don't know as much. Their parents are dumb. So now they know that their parents are diseased, so to speak. They give them cooties, so to speak. So their parents have no input. What is lifted up is the society. Society will raise them, train them, and be their friend. And they will be affected by the no touch because they fear even the touch of their families. Guys, this is so wicked. And we think it's just the surface thing. Maybe you're even thinking, well, that's pretty funny. No. It's
just say no.
I think this is kind of funny. I mean, if you look at it, look, this kid's got a little crown on his hat. That kid's got colorful. Got little eyeballs over here on this one, and he looks like he belongs to the Kiwanis Club. This kid's got a little pink hat here. See,
Yeah,
they made it that's actually kind of cool. They can all dress up their hat,
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to make it to where the kids are thinking, this is fun. I get to put these stickers and everything. My granddaughter loves wearing a crown, and she likes making her crowns and painting it and putting the little jewels and sticking on them and then wearing the crown. But she doesn't wear it 24/7. She doesn't go and wear it all the time. She wears it and enjoys it because she's a child. But this is what they're doing to our kids, and they are, it's a control issue. It is a control and a fear issue. And is that what we want for our children today? And I mean, it's not happened here yet, but
it will if we remain silent.
Exactly. So we need to say no to these things, this and this. Okay. Do you want your kid to walk around with a hat like this? I mean, come on, seriously. You want your kid to walk around?
Come on back. Sherry, come on back.
She likes to be petted. She purrs. See, she's a rebel. She's got to be petted.
This is how Yahovah made
us. Socially distanced from the media that lies anyway.
Yeah.
This is how Yahovah made us. This is how he made our children. He didn't make our children to have their mouths covered or their heads covered with foolishness.
That's exactly right. Putting their mouths covered lowers their immune system anyway. Anybody who's wearing a mask, your immune system's lowered. We need those germs because it strengthens us actually.
And it's this guy in California sitting there saying that homeschooling is a mental health issue, that it's mentally decaying our children. I think that wearing a hat like I was wearing and like those children were wearing and a mask is more a mental issue than.
Well, I want to say this. My grandchild's been homeschooling with me since pretty much the day she was born almost, because I was reading and stuff. My granddaughter knows her ABC. She's 2 and just turned 2 in 4 months. She can say her ABC. She can draw several letters of the alphabet and recognize them. She can do her numbers up through 12. She says words like dangerous and delicious and delectable and uses them in the correct context. She asks questions. She, oh my goodness, musically, she went in there. Y'all heard the testimony, I think. I don't even know. She went in there and played the drums, and I almost just went into her father's drum cage and doing worship a couple weeks ago. And I was like, okay, she grabbed those sticks. She's been able to hold drumsticks correctly since the very first time she held them. And she played on beat and hit the cymbals at the right time. And when she got through after about 2 minutes, I was like, my 2-year-old needs to stay. But, and there's more she knows. And she knows her colors. She knows shapes. She's 2 and 4 months. That's very young because she's been homeschooled.
She loves to learn. She's not in a box. Get your child out of the box of public school and private school if you can, especially with this time and season, because we are drawing closer and closer to Yeshua coming, and we need to be ready. And the world is going to take, and what they're doing is they're taking our children and they're trying to make them into robots with no feelings, and that is not a good thing.
That's right. That's right. Sherry,
come back.
Oh, Terry said something interesting. She said it causes the body to become more acidic, which is dangerous for us. Okay, Terry, what causes the body to become more acidic? The mask. Oh.
Yeah.
How does the mask make you acidic?
She'll let us know. Hey, that's the question.
I see. I mean, if you had the peyotes and all that kind of stuff, and the black hat and the black clothes, then you'd be more Hasidic. But
it makes you drive more like this. Who knows? But it does cause. There's a friend of mine has a friend whose daughter was wearing a mask for a long periods of time working, and she ended up hurting and getting sick and couldn't figure out what was wrong. The doctors checked everything. They thought she had COVID. She didn't have COVID. They tried everything. Finally, they found out. This one doctor figured it out. she had an infection in her lungs because of wearing her
A mask.
mask, because the bacteria that you blow out came back in and it festered into her lungs and it caused an infection.
Have you ever heard the expression sin begets sin?
Yep.
There you go.
Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting, folks. Just be normal. I had somebody, well, we're on air. I can't say it. If I knew where this would go, I could say it, but
I don't have a problem with saying whatever.
I'm not talking about you. Okay.
You're talking about me?
We're not social distancing and we're not wearing masks.
Yeah.
And we haven't.
We don't either. I don't even own a mask.
In our
We
congregation.
see Joe has one, but you know,
Yeah,
Joe,
that's
she's
my mask.
yeah.
Hey, you guys, I must, let's see if that works. Oh, my computer just said low battery. I was like, what happened? Oops. But we haven't been since the beginning, and we're not going to. When John goes to the store, when anywhere John goes, this is funny. He says, you need to be careful wearing that mask. It's dangerous. And he'll go, anybody he sees.
I'll tell you a video I watched the other day, and I had to put my mind in that place. There is a video out there of two young black guys that are in a Walmart being escorted out by a cop, and they're wearing masks. This is 2 weeks before they made it mandatory or not mandatory, but told everybody that the COVID-19 is real and everybody should wear masks. There is a video out there of these two black guys, young guys. They're not doing anything, but as they're being escorted out by this cop, they're talking on their phone saying, hey, everybody, this coronavirus, this is real. You know, we're wearing our masks because we don't want to catch it, and we're being escorted out. That's 2 weeks before everybody started wearing them in.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. And what was funny is first Fauci said, no, the mask doesn't work. Then they say, oh, the mask works. You know, all I see is Star Wars. These are not the drones.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, and then you have the movie Divergent. You know, it's amazing. There's 5 different factions.
Communities, factions.
Yeah, and I just here recently been watching those again, and it's just amazing how if you rewatch those guys, you will see today.
Well, I may have to do that this weekend or something. Well, yeah, right. When? Okay.
What movie?
Divergent
series.
And then
Divergent, yeah.
Divergent, Insurgent, and
yeah, I got all 3 of them. Yeah.
So yeah. Good movie topic to talk about.
Apocalyptic movies. Why for the past 10 years have they flooded the movie market with apocalyptic movies? Why?
Exactly.
It's amazing. And
Preparation.
Yeah. So many of them are so accurate too, and they're future movies. It's amazing. So.
Well, they lose the one soldier guys in the Divergent. I can't think of their faction right now, the name of their faction, but they lose their sense of will and their sense of thinking because they get a chip put in the back of their head. And then the next thing you know, they're walking like robots. They can see you, they can hear you, but they can't do anything but what you tell them.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening right now?
Yeah, really. We could go a long way with that, and maybe we need to make that a movie topic next week or something, and Mark can bring it out. I don't know. We'll figure out apocalyptic movies.
Here's something Desiree said that's interesting. I have thought of this, is looking like Muslim culture too. And, you know, you stop and think about it. Muslim countries have a lot of these specific things that they've been incorporating for hundreds of years, you know, and in their country, this is the way, like the women wearing their burqas and all the other kind of stuff, you know, but yet still, I mean, there's a lot more than just that. You know, this is a lot like that. If you start putting details together, there's a lot of things. The government is not religious, but they are doing what they want to do. Hey, to me, it's starting to look a whole lot more like Handmaid's Tale to me, if you want to know the truth. And I know none of you watch that, but it's a story about religion taking over. And I'm going to tell you what.
I haven't seen it. It's a pandemic. That's what it is, as Desiree said.
Pandemic, very, very.
It's, you know
All
what?
right, folks.
It's putting God in a box, and we're going to show you yet again how God does not belong in a box.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.